Well, overall, the college athletics, I think, in my lifetime, and certainly, I guess my lifetime probably spans the most of the explosion of college athletics. It's always operated under an umbrella, and I might call it a facade of student athlete. And I think we still may see a few remnants of it at Ivy League schools, at smaller liberal arts colleges that play at Division II and III levels, where men and women are really student athletes. But in Division I, at the top of Division I, that long ago left. And we've been living with that facade. A lot of people, including myself, make a living under the facade. And now it has been shattered. And the reality is hammered home. It's overdue, in my opinion. It is, for example, I worked with Jim Harbaugh the last 4 years at the University of Michigan, and he just got himself a very, very big contract to coach the University of Michigan, working with the 49ers. Good. Nice of you. And so now, if you're at the University of Michigan and you play for the University of Michigan, you see the head coach getting introduced with a huge $35 million or $40 million contract, you would have every right to turn around and say, okay, where's mine? What do I get out of this? I've had multiple college basketball coaches over years tell me that they get incredibly frustrated when they get to the NCAA tournament because the university involved will fly the band, they'll fly cheerleaders, they'll fly administrators, a lot of extra people, and the parents of the players can't come. They can't afford the plane flight when they find out 5 days before where they're going to play, and suddenly, it's going to cost me $1,100 to fly from Chicago to Spokane, Washington, or wherever you're going to go. So all of this has to be fixed, and so it's being worked on. It's been worked on, from everything I understand, for a couple of years by administrators, by lawyers, and the obvious questions are: who do you pay? How do you pay them? And how do you stay compliant both with your university's individual policies and the law? It's Title IX. There are laws involved here too, and that's what's been worked on. And I assume we will see implementation sooner rather than later. Athletes should receive something in addition to the tuition, which now they're finally at least getting into full cost of attendance. Mm-hmm. That's a step in the right direction. Now, when I say paid, and I'll emphasize that they should get something. And there's all kinds of words we can use. We can say stipend or allowance, and the word isn't important to me as much as something. But there's a line to cross, which I think is very dangerous. From everything I understand, the unionization movement that was started by the athletes at Northwestern last year opens up an entire array of subjects that I don't think the athletes in college really want, which is they become employees. You're a union member, you're now a worker, you're an employee, you're no longer a student at the university. And with that comes all kinds. Who provides your health insurance? Who provides your pension plans? Who pays taxes? Right? I mean, So I think that the concept of unionization was probably best used as a jolt to shock the system into change. The actual specific implementation of a union, not very smart. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see any athletes, because I don't call them student athletes, they are athletes at a university. Hopefully they're taking classes, and there are students. They are students also, but I don't want them to be employees. That's not right. They shouldn't be employees. The best models of all this are where the athletes definitely get treated differently at the higher levels, because the participation in the sport demands it. But at some level, they're still students, obviously. And yes, you can't pay 95 male football players and not pay 95 women. Now, there are lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. There are lawyers that are working all these things out. And I also know that they're working at the issue that where you draw the line. Because I don't believe that every athlete's going to get paid. What do you pay, walk-ons? Or do you just pay scholarship athletes? And suppose you have a tennis player here who's on a 25% scholarship, or a baseball player who's on a 50% scholarship. and you pay the basketball player on the full scholarship a fee. How does that work? Does the 25% athlete get 25%? Those are all issues that are being worked out. But my fear is, and I'm sure the lawyers are addressing this, is when that walk-on swimmer, who's a full-time swimmer at the University of Arizona, but is a walk-on, doesn't get paid, and looks around and sees 300 other athletes getting paid, there's going to be a lawsuit somewhere. Now, I'm sure the lawyers are smart enough to figure out their answers to all these things and be prepared. But those are all of the, to me, these are all the fallouts that extend beyond the simple statement that most of us say was that they should get something, right? They should get something. But then there's the application of it and the fallout from the application.